Hi, Buff and Static Vision friends and fiends. I'm Kai Perrignon. Today is April 25th at 7 a.m. ish my time, and I am talking to Numbskull Revolution director slash co-writer, the legendary Jon Moritsugu. John, thank you for taking the time to talk to me today.
You're so welcome, Kai. It's so good to be here. What's up?
So to begin, what's life like in Honolulu these days? What's your day to day? I don't know if I've ever talked to someone who's actively living in Hawaii.
I don't have an average day to day. It's pretty funny because I don't have a schedule. My sleep schedule is all fucked up, so I don't have a. I can wake up at midnight, wide awake, and it's like breakfast time at midnight, or it could be 5 a.m., it could be 7 a.m. Today, for instance, I'm trying to sleep in, but I got up at like 1 a.m. wide awake. I walked around, did some stuff up till about 3 a.m., then slept till about 3:45, and then was up at 3:45. So yeah, I'm nuts. There's no schedule, no sleep schedule. I mean, I sort of rotate my days around keeping myself sane, not losing my mind, doing the business I have to do, doing the work I have to do, and like trying to stay inspired and do art.
hmm hmm I really feel you on the lack of like consistent sleep schedule thing. I feel like that's like I kind of I'm a night guy, you know. I'm a 2 a.m. do work guy.
Yeah, sure.
hmm
I used to do all my movies like the editing like late night. Like the best work would be 11 p.m. and maybe 4 a.m. For this new movie, I went over to like a more of like a 9 to 5 schedule. It really wasn't doing it. I had to get back into the crazy nocturnal schedule to like just feel the vibe and really do it well.
It's quieter. It's quieter at the nocturnal time.
It is, and there's something about when you're creating and making artwork and it's everyone else is sleeping, like your secret. It's a really good feeling. Like I'm working on something. I'm going to surprise people. They don't know what I'm doing late at night. This is cool. I love it.
Yeah, I totally feel you. I totally feel you. It's but society is not happy. Society doesn't want you to be working late at night doing creative stuff. They want you to do it in that 9 to 5.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I love these schedules because I'm usually I can wander around Honolulu at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Go to the beaches. I'm walking along the surf and the seashore at like 4 a.m. Gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Very few people out there. No one talks what you do. It's nice.
Are you getting any inspiration when you're out walking the beaches at night? Like you thinking about new things?
Yeah, yeah. Not specifically like movies or art, but just life,
hmm
who I am, my place on the earth, stuff like that, and just starting feeling that connection to shit. I haven't really felt this before in life, where connection to stuff, to nature, to other people, to the stars. I mean, it's a good feeling, and that ultimately inspires the art.
hmm Did you feel like the this kind of connection to the greater world you're talking about, like newfound, is that Hawaii specific?
Yeah, I've lived in about a dozen different cities and towns, and I've always been looking for like the pure nature, like those nights where you can walk out into nature wherever you live in the middle of the night and you're not afraid of anything, that type of vibe. And I've gotten close to the vibe in a few places. Hawaii, though, for me, is the best. I feel completely like nurtured and completely at home in the natural world out here. It's really beautiful. Like it feels more natural walking outside in a house. It's really
hmm
good.
hmm That's a good. That sounds like a good feeling. That sounds like a good feeling. I
Yeah,
live
it's
in
really,
like the middle of this Melbourne CBD, so it's like a very different vibe for night here.
yeah. What are the nights there? Are they beautiful?
You know, it's I the nights are nice. The nights are beautiful. I don't have the thing you're talking about where I can like, roam the beaches and just like feel the earth, but I like walking through the city. I At night I find it very like safe and comforting, kind of feeling connected to other people in the city. Last night I walked through the suburbs a lot, like in the nighttime, and I found that quite disconcerting. I don't really like being in the burbs. So I guess I like the city or like the country, but not the
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Burbs are a little bit creepy, especially at night. It's like Zombieland, Ghost Town.
Yeah.
I'm with hardcore nature or the big city.
Yeah, I was walking. I suddenly realized I was in a really rich neighborhood, and I was like, looking into these rooms. I could just see like into these houses that no one was in there. And then my phone was like, the way to get to this place, you got to go down this no street light side road. And I was like, nah, this is gonna kill me. I'm sorry.
I'm like you, man. I feel the vibes.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So my next question is, okay, there's a billboard advertisement in Numbskull Revolution that reads, 15 minutes of pure living are more precious than a lifetime filled with doubt and regret. This is funny in context, but do you think there's any truth to this sentiment?
Oh, absolutely. It's pure escapism. Why we escape to drugs or movies or food or love. It's like we can't get enough shit here, so we've got to invent reality, get more satisfaction. I don't know. I've definitely been searching the earth my whole life for satisfaction, either through substances, whatever. Never was able to find it this way ever, and that's what I think. The drug skull fucking numbskull revolution. It really is something like this grail, this grail. We're trying to find the perfect drug, the perfect love, the perfect life, the perfect city to live in, the perfect job, and it's all false. So none of that's gonna make us happy.
Hmm. Hmm. And what to you is like pure living? Is this what we're talking about? Is it like,
Yeah,
is it
you're living.
one? Yeah.
uh, Complete honesty with yourself. You know who you are. You're not running away from your bullshit, embracing the good shit. Just pure, complete honesty where there's one version of you, and it's a version talking to you. It's a version that goes out and buys coffee and McDonald's breakfast. It's a version that talks to my sister. One version. Yeah, I think that's what I'm in life.
No separation between like the private self and the public self. Mm.
Especially these days, I mean, there's so much representation online or through simulacrum or imagery where it's so easy to invent someone you want to be and create someone you want to be and reap the rewards of this other person. And it's disconcerting when you meet someone way and then you meet them in person, not who they're as, they're not like they're. I find that to be highly disturbing, and I've been in that state of mind where I've had different versions of myself for different situations. I I got a big skull fuck. There's just one of me, and I'm the same for everybody. That's what you got.
Hmm. Hmm. I really like that. I really like this idea of collapsing the two,
Yeah.
or the three, or the four, or the seven.
Uh-huh.
Which is off it is. Okay. Let's talk a bit more about Skullfuck then, right? So Skullfuck, presumably people who see this have just watched the movie, but the fictional drug that James Duval's future side character takes throughout the film. What are your thoughts on the relationship between like drug taking and art making? Have you personally found the kind of the relationship beneficial or detrimental?
Oh yeah, I've made complete movies wasted. I've edited entire movies fucked up, and I've had to sober. I've gone back and said, "What did I do? I have to go back and start all over again. I ruined it." Yeah, drugs definitely have a place in artistry and being an artist and visionary shit. And then again, I think it's more than drugs. It's almost like just a different frame of mind. We're looking for a different state of mind, different perspective. We get locked in seeing the world through our eyes, through our brain, through our body, one way. And I think what every artist is trying to do is blow the minds of other people, and they're trying to blow their mind open and get insights or a new way of looking at things. And it seems like the easy way to go about it is to get fucked up. Everything is different and give a new reality and portray this thing of art. And I think it's like method actors to a certain point where you get burnt out and stops providing you of a vision whatsoever, just a vision of hell, maybe. I don't know. Uh, I think as an artist, one of the most important things is keeping your vision fresh, your perspectives fresh, your lenses fresh, your points of view different and varied and fresh. And yeah, oftentimes we need drugs for this. And if we can't find drugs, we have to find other drugs, substances, or states of mind. Yeah, I think it all goes hand. Drugs, crazy states of mind, visionary state, fever dreams. Yeah, art it makes sense.
That's yeah. No, and I like that. It's yeah. It's like allowing. I mean, it's interesting. We were talking before. Is kind of collapsing these multiple selves, and we're talking about like kind of finding these separate versions of ourselves again, and then I guess the art is reconciling these things as well in a certain way. Um, and okay, whenever anyone says skull fuck in the movie, the editing goes hog wild, and it's awesome. Can you talk about like developing the drug trip aesthetic?
Yeah, I mean, I we've seen it in so many movies, so many times before. Like someone takes a drug and then it becomes chaotic, the visuals change, and I just really wanted this to feel like a real drug trip. Where you have that anticipation before you take it, you have the moment of liftoff, and it's over before you know it. I just really wanted it to visually and audio to just sort of capture this very intense, enjoyable experience. I mean, enjoyable. Yeah, that's what people are looking for. That's what these characters look
Hmm. Yeah, I think it does. It succeeds because it does feel like when he's taking it, it does feel like this like intense high, and it doesn't even seem like the cooldown's that bad. Like the calm down, he wakes up
for.
and he's like, I'm right to it. So it does seem like in terms of drug experience, it does seem like broadly thumbs up. Except for the negative aspects of it that are in the movie, obviously as well.
Yeah.
Um, Okay, so my next question is okay, kind of speaking about because getting in where you're talking about evoking this kind of headspace is like and through the editing process, you shot this movie on 4K, but it looks all sorts of like beat up and buried. And I say this as like a high compliment. Like, how do you push the kind of pristine potential of digital into your kind of decaying textures? What was your editing process like?
All right. All right. So it was really high end 4K production of amazing cinematographer, director of photography. So we all had all the footage. It was flat, looked gray, and it was perfect for like a feature movie. And it was just too clean. I did a rough cut of the movie, and I really wanted to edit the movie quickly. I was like, yeah, beautiful footage, going to do a quick edit. Boom, the movie's done. And it did not, it wasn't captivating, it wasn't engaging. And that's when I realized this needs a lot more. And one of the things I wanted to do with this, I keep, I compared to Blade Runner. And a reason I compared to Blade Runner is I think the biggest character in Blade Runner environment, city, that's the biggest element in the movie. And so I wanted to create a movie where the physical city, the location was a huge element too. And the footage was so clean, it wasn't, there's no presence in the city. Uh, I shot stuff on the screen, popped the actors against those sculpture backdrops. And again, it's still working. At a certain point, it hit me that this is a future city, a dystopia. It's going to be fucked up and polluted. I've got to make it dirty now. So I started layering top layers of smoke. Some of it was out of necessity. If you notice, the smoke is green, and it's because I had the hardest time with the green screen effects. When I was green screening, I always had like the little green on the actor's hair, a little outline. I couldn't get rid of this shit, and I was using a really pretty high end system. And at a certain point, I said to mask the green, I'm just pop in green smoke, everything. And the moment I did that, the movie got a new vibe, and I was like, this is a sinister city now. It's not a clean 4K city. It's a fucked up, cruddy, polluted city. That's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to layer shit onto this movie to make it look good. And yeah, we didn't really. Me and the color grading guys are like a complete pro. He does really high end Hollywood jobs. A friend of mine. We didn't. He didn't come up with the solution to color grading right until like a week before the screening, the premiere, because we kept watching the footage and you could literally see every layer of footage and it wasn't integrated. You're like, oh, I see a layer of green, I see another layer of green smoke, I see the green screen layer, I see the backdrop, I see the extras, people walking through is another layer. I don't know what he did, but he figured out some technique where it suddenly integrated and almost like melted everything together. I don't know what the fuck he did. And that was a moment like 1 week before the screening, we're like, have a movie now. We have a real environment. And yeah, we struggled making it feel like an actual physical place to visit. It was
Mhm.
a
Well, and yeah, so I want to ask you then about like kind of broadly this kind of world building because yeah, I think it's so awesome. Like very quickly, you see these miniatures and you're feeling like you seeing all these little composited scenes. It does feel like this for a world that is kind of in the shitsville, right? It feels very handmade. You feel that it's just this very tactile and textured place. So can you talk about like developing that like world aesthetic of Shitville, USA?
I I wanted it to, since I mean, it's a city with a population of 1 trillion people. Like, if you imagine 1 trillion people in a city, that's a lot of people. And at the same time, I wanted it to be dense and polluted and overwhelming with so many people there. I also wanted it to feel desolate, empty, and lonely. Almost like you're walking through a big city like New York City. And I remember, especially in the summers, sometimes in the summers, people would vacate, take their vacation, 1 month off or whatever. And a few times just walking in Manhattan, middle of the day, you turn a corner and you're like, these next 3 blocks are empty. I don't see any humans. What the fuck? And it was always disconcerting. So I wanted to create a huge, overpopulated city that felt empty and scary at the same time. And one of my inspirations was Grand Theft Auto, the video game. Uh, I don't play video games. However, the first one I got drawn into the graphics and the environment. I would just walk around and not really commit crimes, but just explore. And it's creepy. You have thugs running by, cars running by, and it's a big city in Grand Theft, and it's desolate.
Mhm.
So that was my inspiration: a big city that's desolate, and that's kind of the movie came together. That's the vibe I wanted. I also wanted it to be really dangerous. So you have gunshots, explosions going on, thugs running around. I also wanted it to be really polluted. So you have all the green smokestacks. In pretty much every exterior shot, if you notice, people are just hacking and coughing. Everyone has emphysema because it's so polluted. So, yeah, I wanted it to be a gorgeous, colorful, dangerous, beautiful city but that's like a jungle of urban nightmare at the same time.
Mhm. Well, I think you totally nailed it. I think everything you're saying, yeah, as you said,
Right.
it feels like packed and empty at the same time.
Right
it's a
on.
really weird contradiction there. And I really love that you said Grand Theft Auto because I was thinking of, have you ever seen there are these movies by Phil Solomon from like the early 2000s that are like that use Grand Theft Auto and they're talking about what you're talking
Wow.
about.
Wow.
Yeah, I reckon rehearsals for retirement. I think you get a kick out of it. He just,
Oh,
yeah, it was like, yeah, it was a guy who worked with Stan Brakhage, and he was just
yeah, yeah.
one
No,
showed him.
no
Yeah.
stuff. I didn't know he did this Grand Theft
Okay.
Auto.
Yeah. Okay. You know, okay, you would love. Yeah, I think you dig it then. Yeah, it's really
Right
they're
on.
really sneaky.
Guy.
Um, okay, sorry. This is kind of off topic, but I guess going back to the editing. I wanted to ask before we got into the question we just did, which is what you love zooms, and I love the zooms too. Are you when you're doing the zooms in the movie when you're just crashing in? Is that usually planned out, or were you finding that in the moment of the edit?
I'm finding it at the time in the moment. Like you're editing, I'm editing, and I'm finding these moments where it's almost like you're cooking, and you're like, I put salt and pepper on this dish. I need that one spice that's activated. That's what the zoom is. Like low points in the movie. I found zooms are good when the movie starts slowing down and you got to re-engage the audience, get them sucked back into it, and re-engage. The zoom is almost like, hey, we're on a roller coaster ride, folks. Hang on, and it takes you into that scene, and you have everyone's attention for at least 10 seconds. So after you do the zoom, you have 10 seconds to do something really good. To hang on to people. But yeah, I love zooms. I also love fades and stuff like that, just gradual cross fades. Beautiful.
Yes, there's a really beautiful. I want to talk about it a bit more later. But there's a beautiful like crossfade slash overlay towards the end of the movie with the two sisters over like the city rolling in fog, and it's so
Yeah,
beautiful.
dude, that's one of my favorites. Thank you.
Oh, it's so
Thank
beautiful.
you. Wow, I
Um,
wanted that to be beautiful, especially with the soundtrack, because I was like, this is the end of the movie, and I want this to be poignant, beautiful, and sad, and resonating. And dude, you made my day for real. Thank you.
oh, dude, I'm glad. Well, hey, you made my day. I was watching it and I was going, man, I'm feeling emotions right now. I'm like, uh, I mean, look, because to be honest with you, not like I've seen because your previous work I've seen like I really enjoyed it and I find it like very invigorating, but I didn't feel this like I don't know. I was like getting kind of teary. I was getting kind of teary at the end of Nelson Audition.
I,
So
you know how fucking deep this is? Everything you said in the last minute or two, because this is a new type of movie for me. I agree with you. The old movies address big topics. They push your buttons. They get you to feel stuff. They're exciting. They're fucked up. Blah blah blah. This this Numbskull is the first movie I've made. Amy and I have made, whatever you want to call it, where it's deep. It has a heart, and it does. Every time I've watched it in movie theaters, there's one point where there's at least one point in the movie where I'll start crying. It's really deep for me. This is the first movie I've ever made where I really said I want to make it a point to bring my feelings and my heart, my heart that I've gone through in life, bring it to the table and put it into the movie so that people feel this and walk away with a bigger film than all the other movies. I really that was so important for me. I was like, this is the first movie I'm going to be vulnerable to tell the world, hey, I got hurt, man. This is me. These two characters are all fucked up, looking for love and failing in life. They're both me. Hello, folks. My life. I've never done that before, and it was so freeing. I'm happy I did it.
do you feel like previously was that like an intentional kind of separation between you and the art, or is this?
Yeah, I had a bad attitude. I thought I was in control of life, and I was like, I'm a hotshot filmmaker. I want to make movies that push your buttons. I want to make movies that are like a roller coaster ride for you, the audience. I want to blow you away. I want to show you how cool I am. Fuck you. See you later. That was my philosophy for movie making. I wasn't the new me now, and this is like in the last year. It's like I'm a good movie maker. It's a fucking great movie. You're gonna have a good time. Life is hard. We all have hard lives. It's brutal. I'm bringing to the table some shit I've gone through. Maybe you can relate. Here it is. Here's my story. Sad as fuck. Here I am and still alive. Bye bye. Yeah, it's a different vibe.
Vibe. It's a good vibe. It's good.
Yeah,
It was
I
a
love
good vibe before. It's a good vibe now. I got to say.
it.
So, um, okay. My next question is okay. So it's kind of going. This is going back to kind of the world building, I guess. There's just a small piece of the movie that I was very tickled by, which is this creature called God, which is a little pink CG lizard that dies a quick and horrible death. Can you just talk about this guy? I was rewatching the movie, just being like, wait, what is up with this little lizard? So can you just talk about it a little bit?
I, I, I just wanted to put God in the movie, and I mean, one of the reasons I wanted to put God in the movie is just to have stupid lines like people saying, "Oh, you found God. You have God in your life. I want God in my life." And yet they're talking about God. God is a commodity. God is an object you buy. 50 of them were made. They're very expensive. You buy God, and God gives life. It just started at just like stupid jokes like that, and then it became a little deeper. Like as much as we joke about that scene and like God got just destroyed. This character bought God. Sister's jealous. Of God. I think everyone is looking for God in their life, even atheists. I mean, when I was an atheist, I was still like looking at the people who were praying and praying to their gods, goddesses. I was like, I'm sort of jealous of you people. I'm jealous. You found a human being of this invisible power that I'm not aware of. I don't feel it. What the fuck is wrong with you? What's right with you? I think there's always part of all of us that wants to maybe God or princesses or fairy tale. And so that's why I popped it in too. I think as much as it's like fuck God, fuck religion, I'm an atheist. There's something delightful about characters finding God and God being something that you buy, and then you can destroy God, and then you don't have God in your life.
Yeah, and God is so cute in the meantime before he dies or she dies. Yeah. And so you said a second ago, you said before we said when you were an atheist, or would you not call yourself an atheist now?
I'm totally connected to all kinds of shit, and it's nothing like churches or Bibles or other human beings. I'm the biggest thing I can say is I really feel connected to life itself and the world and who I am on this earth, and my time on this earth, and relationships with other people. And it's radically different from how I used to see things. I don't know. art. I never wanted to give back to the world, like teach classes for free and teach people how to make movies. I was like, fuck that, pay me. And I don't know what does that say that I have art now back. It's interesting. You don't have to call it God, you call it heart, call it love. I don't know if you call it crazy. I for me personally, with everything I've been through in life the last few years, I guess I've just been demonstrated shit that is supernatural, that's beyond the facts. And yeah, it's like Carl Jung said, he said, I don't have to know there. He said, I don't believe there's a God. I just know there's a God, and like, I can't prove it. I just have a belief in all kinds of big shit out there, way bigger than that I can't explain.
Mm-hmm, hmm. I definitely, I guess I would call myself an atheist, but
Yeah,
I definitely noticed when you talk about the feeling of like seeing people who I grew up in I grew up in Tennessee and like I was like kind of the annoying atheist guy with a bunch of
yeah, yeah.
god like god loving teenagers, and I definitely felt that envy you're talking about, and it's an interesting, yeah, it's an interesting feeling. I gotta say I'm envious of you right now. I'm feeling it again. So
Wow,
yeah.
it's funny because I remember uh, when I was in preschool, I went to like a Baptist preschool, and they gave us like talk about the Bible. I'd never heard any of this in a like Jesus and God, and my mind was, as a kid, I was actually elated. I was like, "There's more to life than just the shit in front of me." I'm so glad there's invisible, magical, powerful shit. I was so happy. I remember going home and I told my mom, I was like, Mom, there's God and God is invisible and has all the power. And then there's Jesus. And I started talking about all this shit. And my mom, atheist, she just said, John, none of that is true. It's fake. Those are lies. Forget about it. I just started crying. I was like, what? Yeah. And then I was like, I'm not going to tell my mom, but I'm going to keep believing in this weird shit. And then I became an atheist.
But
But
that,
I'm not like a Bible preaching, Bible thumping, like judging type of person. I, I've lived life where I've done it by the facts in my brain, and it's been a terrible life. And now that I'm out of my brain and more in my heart and my soul, it's awesome. Yeah, and I'm going to stay here. It's cool.
do you do you think that like art making in any way is kind of like has like a religious quality to it, like this kind of, I was talking to someone recently and she was comparing Caroline Golem, director of Revelations of Divine Love, and she was talking about this idea of like making a movie is like building a church. Do you see anything like that?
I sort of do. Yeah. It as much as we don't want to believe in any of this shit, I mean, it's sort of amazing that as an artist, you can make art and you can imbue it with meaning, or meaning gets imbued into meaning within it, and then you die, and then the art can linger, keep affecting people with your intentions, your meanings. That's pretty fucking weird. Even a musician, you write a song, makes people cry, makes them happy, makes them dance around, die, and your song lives. So your spirit and your intentions and vibes live through that work of art. I think it's pretty amazing. And when I started out making movies, I definitely thought about what people think about my movies after I died. I didn't give it that much thought, though. I mean, my whole thing was, again, I just want to show you how good a filmmaker I am, and now it's sort of shifted into, yeah, I want to show you how good a filmmaker I am. However, I want to give you glimpses of heaven and hell as I experienced them. And if you haven't, maybe this is like a scenery you enjoy and get out of it. You experience this shit. I want to. That's what I've always wanted to do with my art as an artist, is like take these detours into the most fucked up, hellish places of existence and the most high, exalted, best points of existence, and compress it and put it into movie and present it to people and say my experiences. And I was sort of faking it when I started. I didn't have that many experiences in life, and now I can honestly say I've experienced both spectrums of life. And that's what I put into Numbskull Revolution. I think that's what people are feeling.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, I definitely feel. I definitely it is a movie of like very low lows and very high highs, right?
Absolutely.
Mhm. And that's also kind of the dichotomy of the two characters as well. Okay, so we're talking about this art. We're talking about this kind of space of art, of making art, and like kind of like what that actual process means. And Numbskull Revolution is set in the high art world. It's a satire of the high art world, and there's a fair amount of time spent in like gallery spaces. So, what, if any, was your and co-creator Amy Davis's experience in the gallery space slash modern art scene? And yeah.
She didn't really have a great time in the fine art scene. I mean, she's a world famous illustrator, fashion illustration. She was sort of like the tip of the iceberg in the mid 90s when it became really big and hot for illustration to be the way to sell work. Most of the big ads with the big companies, they were illustrations, makeup companies, even car companies. So she was spearheading movement, and she got a lot of work, like the craziest companies, like a cutlery company with utensils saying, we want you to do a drawing of people eating steaks and pay you 10 grand for a drawing of people eating steaks. And she's like, got it done in 2 days and 10 grand. Uh, really good way to make money. And she did commercial work for magazines and ads, which she was really good at. She didn't really enjoy it. Fine art, she did fine art for like editorials for magazines. She had stuff shown in galleries, and she always was sort of like not into just the way the artwork was presented, like in galleries, and so pristine, so airtight. And she always loved magazine publications for the people. You buy a magazine for a couple bucks, anyone can buy it. There's thousands of them out there. You pick it up at the newsstand. Anyone can buy her artwork. You go to a gallery, one person can buy her art for a lot of money. So Amy definitely for loves mass production, multimedia, printing, stuff like that, and was definitely against fine art establishment scene. And that's probably reflected in the movie, the nature for artist character who's like, fuck you to everyone. She was sort of like that as an artist. She was like, I have a big show in a museum. I don't want to be here. Fuck you. I'm leaving. Bye. So yeah, she brought a lot of that to the character. It really works for that character.
It definitely feels very lived in. It does not feel like uh at someone not in that scene, but it feels very authentic, you know? Okay, and like okay, so I guess a secondary question here is like there's a character in the movie, his name is Randolph Einstein, and he's kind of like a parody of like the kind of snooty critic type guy. And do you feel like arts criticism, film criticism has had a productive relationship with your work at all? Like, have you enjoyed reading criticism of your work?
Absolutely. I love film criticism. I love writing. I love cultural theory and all this writing. That's what I studied in college. I love when people are using like fancy when theories to describe like a scuzzy movie. You know, it's really really funny. No, I really appreciate the writing and all of the stuff that goes into it, and I especially appreciate all the bad reviews. I want people to love or hate my movies. When I started out, my goal was I want 2/3 of the people to love my movies, see them, and the other 1/3 absolutely hate the movie. And I'm still there. I want people to hate the movies. And I recently was on like Letterboxd. I don't really read this very often. I recently discovered it. And this dude hated Numbskull, and he then proceeded to write like a 5-page essay. It was really well written. I was like your mini thesis paper for like Brown University semiotics department, dude. And I've always appreciated the bad reviews. There's almost like more passion and work and due diligence put into the bad reviews, more so than the good reviews. And I read his review, and he absolutely hated the movie. And I was like, sir, you hated the movie. However, you had the passion to spend like a couple days writing this huge review that's really nicely written. That's a lot of passion and love you're showing me. Thank you. And I've always found the bad reviews to be so wonderful because it's someone has spent so much time out of their day, especially guy who's not getting paid to do this. It's not his job. He's just like, I'm writing on letterbox. Woo, my uh, the passion and the thought and the I don't know how many drafts he went through and changes he made. I appreciate that, and his bad review to me felt like he secretly loved the movie and just how he dissected it and talked about so many aspects. I was like, this is an amazingly thoughtful review, and you love the movie. Thank you. So yeah, it's funny. I love bad reviews, especially people who really like spend a lot of time describing shit. Keep doing it, folks. I love it.
Hell yeah.
Really.
It's sort of strange. I mean, there is like I guess there's a fine line between love and hate, especially when you're spending hours and hours and hours thinking you better, right? Yeah, uh, that's really lovely. Yeah, okay. There is the other side of this. Sorry, this is like a tangent, but like I do think of like okay, I read Sandra Locke's memoir years ago, Clint Eastwood's ex, right? And he talks about that apparently he would go around at parties because Pauline Kael hated the Dirty Harry movies, and he would just he would read Pauline Kael's reviews of his own movies, and he would say like, "She's my psychologist friend only says she's writing this because she's attracted to me," and I love this story, and I love how much like he was engaging with the critique of his work, even if it was like driving him crazy, and he was acting very hilarious about it, like it was important to him, you know. Pauline Kael's hating on Clint Eastwood. He was thinking about it all the time. It was presumably affecting him, and I think it's kind of beautiful for such a guy who
That
seems
is.
so
I didn't
comfortable.
know about that.
Yeah,
I mean, I love both characters. That's cool.
yeah. Um, okay. The next question is okay. The world in Numbskull Revolution is collapsing, like real life is collapsing in real life too. Late in the movie, "Fuck art" is yelled by a band at a party. What do you think the artist's role is in times of intense political strife?
I think I think the artist role in terms of when things get really heavy and hardcore politically, just like really majorly fucked up like right now. I think the artist's job is to be the foundation of society. Artists have to be solid, keep doing their work, aware of what's going on in the world, yet not too buffeted by it, because then the artist will say, wow, the world's too fucked up. I'm going to stop doing art. It's too fucked up. I'm going to stop. I mean, as an artist, you have to be sort of aware of the bad shit going on and then immune to it and say, yeah, fucked up shit in the music. Fuck that. I'm going to do my art. It's important. You have to see my art. It's a weird balance. And I think the artist's role, not necessarily comment on events, change events, dabble in politics. I think the artist's role is to keep society and people sane. That's how I it. I'm going to keep making movies, and they're going to be fucked up, make you laugh and cry. And, I think they help people. The movies are so crazy that they help people stay sane in a crazy world. I'm doing this. It's funny with this movie. It's not overtly political. However, I've had at least a dozen people, including strangers and like really like prominent like film curators, like bigwigs too, all kinds of people. About a dozen people have come up to me and just said, John, I can't explain it, but this is the movie I had to see tonight in terms of everything going down in the world right now. And I think it's really important for me to just keep making movies about and shying away from stuff that's fucked up in our lives, and yet not obsessing on it, making us feel so powerless and making a movie that's so depressing that you leave crying and you're like, life is hopeless.
Mhm.
I think as an artist, times are hard. You have a balance where you're addressing shit and trying to bolster people and bring out their good qualities. Like, folks, let's have a heart. Let's help strangers. Let's help people who look different colors. Fuck yeah. As an artist, you're trying to spread that message. And I think as an artist, sometimes you're trying to spread a message of like, there's a lot of noise in the world. Fuck this shit. I'm going to live my life. I deserve to have a good life. So I'm going to go right now and hang out with my friends tonight. Fuck this world. I don't know. It's really hard. It's in hard times. It's hard to do art. However, it's really important. Yeah, I think my goal right now as an artist is to give people some stuff to think about, give people some stuff to laugh about, some scream about, cry about, and ultimately just give people an hour and a half break from bullshit in the world and give them a different type of bullshit to deal with.
A break from the world, different bullshit. Yeah. Well, okay, that's good. It's really interesting. Like, kind of, I don't know, contradictions we're talking about here because it's like art is both like an escape from the kind of rigors of reality, and also it's confronting it, right? It's like it's a way to engage. It's almost like art. It's like a way to engage with some of these realities in a more in a safe space, you know?
And you have to find the balance because if it's too lighthearted and fantastic, people will walk away saying that's a fantasy Disney movie I saw. It has nothing to do with my life and my reality and the society. I'm going to write it off. And if it's too hardcore and brutal and like a documentary about how life sucks and we're all going to die and there's no meaning, people will leave the theater saying, I'm so depressed. I'm worse off than 2 hours ago. And you don't want to do that either. When times get hard, it's really hard to make art where you're almost like aware of what's going on in the world. And at times you're turning your back saying, I don't know what the fuck is going on in the world. Watch my movie. Even though we do know it's weird.
Mm-hmm. It is weird. It is. I guess I'm just thinking about this a lot recently. I'm just feeling like I feel like a lot of people I know are just feeling very the weight of maybe our government leaders, right now and like on our lives, and yeah, and it's like. I'm a film programmer, obviously, and I'm like, we gotta go see the movies. We gotta go hang out. And also, I feel like another nice thing about art in time all times, I guess, is like you're going to see movies with friends or with strangers, and you experience it together, right? It's like it is a nice reason to go and talk to people, you know.
No, I'm so happy with the world right now because I mean, it's sort of like going down the toilet right now, being led by the USA and my wonderful country, which is so fucking full of shit, dragging everyone down, man. Change those fucking bullshit and get samples out of here. However, I forget what I was even saying, man.
Just get in the room. Shit's going haywire, but you can get in the room with other people, and you can go watch.
Yeah, okay, that's between now and 5 years ago. There are so many more ways to see movies in the world. Cool ass film festivals, uh, screening spaces, micro cinemas, jet theaters. Uh, it honestly right now it's better for booking movies and getting movies on a movie screen now than maybe in the 90s. I feel there's so many more opportunities, especially for like young and or just new filmmakers who haven't shown much. And that's how it's such a better world. And people also after COVID and just like the stuff that's gone in the last 10 years, people are like wanting to be social. I love it. It's like I want to see a movie, and in the past it used to be I want to see movies, so I'm going to sit at home and watch Netflix in my big apartment on the screen alone by one friend. And now it's like I want to see a movie, I'm going to the theater and meet strangers, drink a beer, and have a good time and scream at the screen, and it's like a punk rock show. I mean, it's so healthy and refreshing. So happy theaters are opening up again with like bands playing, with food and pop-ups and like clothing being sold and like freaking D&D, people playing D&D and watching fantasy movies, and it is so refreshing. It yeah, what you just said, the social aspect of viewing movies is crucial. It's saving our society right now. I feel it.
And you said it does feel like such a great moment for movie watching with right now, like a lot of the micro cinema that we run, like a lot of our audience are like 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, right? And they're just like, I'm ready to rock, and they'll come out with crazy stuff, you know.
I mean, these people are going to be running Miramax or like Sony Pictures in a few years. These 19-year-olds, and they're getting turned on to like seeing physical movies and buying DVDs and watching 16 millimeter film prints. I mean, hallelujah.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, it's awesome. And like also I feel like another thing that's interesting right now in terms of like movie watching is because I teach a film studies class at the university, and
Cool, man.
I like to ask students, I'm like, okay, it's 1975. you've heard about a movie. How do you see it? And and it's like you wait for it to play the cinema and you beg, right? And now it's like, oh, I heard about this Brazilian movie from 1983. I wonder if it's on YouTube, right? And that is kind of the beautiful of like it is so many people are even beyond the canon. They are finding their own ways through the movie zone and coming out with new and interesting ideas. I really think it's kind of a wonderful moment for young people to be, or all people to be into movies.
It's so cool you teach, man.
It's a fun time. You said were you saying earlier you teach as well a bit? You've been
I used to do a lot of teaching at one point, maybe 10 years ago. I was teaching almost full time. I taught at film schools and stuff like that. And I just got burnt out.
hmm
Uh, I sometimes would end up just doing too much teaching and not enough of my own work. A few times I could balance it, like I'm shooting a feature movie and getting the kids to help me, and they're getting credit for that. That was the best.
That was a great
That,
time.
that,
That's also there's a good tradition of that as well. Like Nicholas Ray did that as well. His movie's fun. So, okay, were you teaching like a film studies class or film production class? Like, what kind of
I
thing?
did everything. I mean, I taught film production, like basic film production, more advanced production, producing. I did like some graduate level director seminars and shit, and then I was also teaching like film history, like science, sci-fi cinema, uh, uh, postmodern movies. You know, I did the whole range of stuff.
Uh,
I mean, the one cool thing is I taught at a bunch of really cool schools, and I for these intro classes, I said I'll teach an intro class. However, I'm going to teach it my way, and it's going to be the punk rock way. And all the schools were like, "Do it your way. That's fine." Like I didn't want to have like a textbook and have to do it their way of teaching how to make a movie.
well, I mean, I feel like also, there are even though there are textbooks, there are so many different ways to make a movie. Also, I'm like losing my mind thinking of like if I had you as a professor, that would have been sick. That would have been awesome. You seem like a good vibe in class. Yeah. Did you have like a particular class that you found? I mean, it seems like the class that you were into is when you were able to bring the students into your own work. How did that work when you were bringing them onto the feature?
Oh, it was great. Like for Scum Rock, I was shooting a movie and teaching a. It was at San Francisco State. It was really good. It was actually a night class. It was a 15-week night class, 3 hours a week, and basically it was into the filmmaking. And by the end, the kids were making their own movies and stuff. And so I was filming Scum Rock, and I just put it out there. I was like, I need extras for a scene. They're going to be speaking roles. If anyone wants a movie set, I warned them I was going to get here and sit around a lot, and you have to commit to the whole day here. And I got pretty much the whole class to go up, and there's scenes in the movie where you see these like kids in the college campus. Those are all my students, and it was just really, really fun.
That's really nice. That's so cool. That's so cool. It is. There is something nice about. I gotta say, like my favorite. Like I kind of get like a high when I'm teaching. Like it does. I get really amped up on it, and like
Yeah.
when because the class that I teach, the main class that I teach is basically like intro to film studies, intro to film theory stuff. And just when we show something that's provoked students and then they start like, I'm moderating the conversation, but when they start talking to themselves, they start responding and I'm like, "Ah!"
Dude, it's funny because it's hard to come down after you teach. It's like you're a rock star, you're in a band, you're an athlete, and I would have some of these classes pretty late at night or night school, so I would teach till 9 at night. And I remember just getting home at 10, and I'm just like, I have to just drink myself to sleep because I'm just absolutely. It feels like I'm in a band. I'm not going to sleep all night unless it's going to come down somehow.
It's so that's I 100% empathize. Yeah, I would describe it to people as like putting on like a theater show. It's like we're all devising a play right now, and then you leave and you're like, I just did a show. I just they said you feel like
Yeah, it is.
it's
To
very
me,
very strange. Yeah.
and I mean, the beauty is, no matter how much you plan, you don't know what's going to happen with the students. So it's all non-scripted virtually, you know?
Yes, totally. And it's sometimes I feel like sometimes I have let like I have this perfect plan for the class, and then it completely derails. And sometimes that's annoying, but often it's very beautiful and nice. Uh, but yeah, that's awesome. All right, back to Numbskull Revolution. Okay, The film is very, very funny, but it also has this great melancholy. I was actually just kind of flipping through it before we chatted, just to kind of refresh myself on it because I watched it a few days ago or whenever, like a week ago now, and I was really struck, especially by these scenes towards the end of James Duvall waking up. Like he's done a drug trip and he wakes up in this kind of outdoor environment and there's like a woman picking trash and she's like, I'm just picking up the detritus, you know? And I found it. And then we were talking earlier about the end of the movie. I found it like very deeply melancholy. But then,
Oh,
go no, do you want to touch on that? Go.
no, no, keep going, going. I was like, yeah, because that is the most melancholy scene for me. Like that one scene. If I watch the movie every single time, I tear up. And I told the actress, I was like, "You are in the saddest, most intense scene in the movie. Thank you. Her acting is genius."
Yeah, it's she's so good, and it's like a kind of a mysterious little bit, but also, yeah. I mean, what do you? Okay, let's stop at that scene for briefly. What do you think for you is happening in that scene? Like, what do you think? Because she's saying what she said. She says, I'm here to pick up the detritus," and he's like, "You look like a heliotrope," and she
Yeah.
seems a bit like disconcerted, and then she just kind of repeats, "I'm picking up the
No,
trash. I'm picking up the detritus."
that for me, that's just it's someone who's lost her mind, and that I have friends and very close people to me who I'm still in touch with who lost their mind and they're not themselves anymore. And this goes after that. Uh, she speaks her first line. It's like, wow, who is this beautiful woman speaking clearly, connecting with this character? What's going to happen? You're going to fall in love. And then she repeats the same line, and you're like, oh, she's lost her mind. And I just wanted to do a scene that would be so sad, where you have a character Future Side who's in the whole movie looking for a relationship. He's looking for other humans to connect with, to talk to get deep with, to be vulnerable with. He's not finding the real friends. In this moment, you almost feel like, has he found a real friend? Woman is, are they going to be friends? And he gets fooled too. He's like, oh my gosh, talk to this woman. I want to open up, share my life. Then she gets herself, and he's like, oh fuck, she's crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah, it, it's nothing deeper than me doing with talking to someone I know is crazy and how sad and fucked up it.
Mhm. To see someone go, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Well,
yeah,
okay. This is kind of a great feeling, and I mean, sorry, great feeling. I mean, like it's a very deeply felt emotion, and also you said like James Duvall's character, he is like so much like searching for this connection, and partly searching for this like reconnection with Amy Davis's character, right? I also really like that bit where he's like, where they run into each other finally, and he's like, and she's really at her lowest, and he's just like, "I'll see you later tonight." Like, I don't know. It's a very when he says, "I'll see you later tonight," even like I'm thinking about it now, it's making me feel like emotional. There's something about I don't know, it feels very generous, but on his part. But also, okay, all of this kind of pain and stuff. But then also at the end of the movie, and we were talking about this earlier, right? You have this amazing shot of the twins overlaid over the foggy
yeah.
cityscape, and then Agnes survives, and she like walks out of the rubble. Do you find the movie hopeful overall?
I I do absolutely hopeful. First thing is you start thinking, did Agnes even exist? We're like Cucumber twin sister Agnes, the twin sisters. And then I mean, I wanted it to sort of be open ended, where you start thinking like, does Agnes actually exist, or is she just a figment of Cucumber's imagination? Like, you know, maybe there wasn't a party with her and you, maybe nobody showed up and you crashed your house on your own, all alone. Maybe you smashed God and your sister didn't. So I wanted that to be there, like just this, like, does this character even exist? Is it just like a super ego type of thing, Freudian shit, one person's mind? So I wanted it to be like that. And then I wanted it to be abstract too, where like maybe if this is a real character, how people are bonded. And honestly, I mentioned I'm a character. I'm Cucumber, how full of shit she is and trying to rule the world and knows everything, is a narcissist, not getting close to people. I'm that. I'm also Future Side, not focusing on his life and is falling apart and has lost himself. And at the end of the movie, Agnes Cucumber, just like we're always connected, I'm always here with you. That to me is Amy talking. We're not together anymore. We're friends. It goes up and down. It's challenging, easy sometimes. We're connected to life. Our souls are connected, even if we're not married. We don't talk much or whatever. That to me was what that scene was about. Just me and Amy saying, "Hey, we're together a long time. It was a good run, good shit. Had some good times. It's over now. Still connected. Different though. Goodbye." That's my goodbye. Yeah, I think that's why it's sad and poignant. It more so than like, super ego versus kid. Is this character real? Is it real? It's to make the character up. It's more like two people really close, bonded for life. They're saying goodbye, and they know they're all connected. However, not how they were connected.
Yeah, no, that definitely comes through. Yeah. Okay, well, I guess kind of bouncing off of this a bit, we're talking a bit about Amy, and also we talked a lot about kind of your life. Now, you originally shot the film around 2016. A lot of things seem to have happened between now and then. How different is the movie now from its conception?
It's exactly how I intended it to be, and it is exactly how it was written in the script. Is exactly what the final project is like, and through the process, it went way out of the memories. At one point, I had a rough cut of the movie, all the scenes in place, and I kept watching it, and it was terrible. It felt like a movie of the week. It gave you the information, it gave you the characters, the plot, the story. There's no emotional depth. You felt nothing for the characters. That's when I was like, wow, this movie needs more. And it's not like what I wrote. I found that with every movie I make, I start with a script of a really specific idea what the movie's going to look like and sound be like. We shoot it, start editing, and it always something really radically different. And then through post production, comes back, grab it again, and then I'll stop when it becomes what I had envisioned when I started. Then that's when the movie's done. So yeah, this is exactly how it's really cool.
That's beautiful. That's awesome. And that's not what I expect you to say, and that's rad.
Right.
Is yeah, that's because it feels. I mean, it feels like it's got so many things, so much things going on in it. So it's beautiful to hear.
When it was, I would say about a year ago, I was the movie was rough cut form, and it was this mediocre version, and the problem with this movie is it has no depth. It doesn't have highs and lows. It's not a roller coaster ride. It's sort of like a bumper cart ride. And so I was like, how do I give it the highs and lows, the depth, the emotion? And I couldn't figure out how to do it. I was changing scenes, editing scenes that were supposed to be like happy and joyous, trying to make them happier, wasn't working. And then I find this is the solution I came up with. There's this thing called shadow work, and it's Carl Jung, disciple of Freud, basically said as human beings, we spend our lives thinking about our good points and how to polish up our positives. And he's like, we have to explore the bad portions of our psyche and personalities and explore the bad shit like our greed or evilness or fear or just like all the stuff we hide from, our dark side, our shadow self. He's like, we have to explore this shit to become integrated to heal. So I started thinking about the movie, and I was like, the movie has had no shadow work. Editing only during the day. I haven't done any night editing for the entire movie. So I said, I'm going to do shadow work in the movie for 1 month. I said, I'm going to only edit at night. Like, the sun has to go down, has to be dark, and I have to wrap up before the sun rises. So I was editing from like 8 until 4 a.m. for 1 month. This was my rule for shadow work. I said I can explore everything that's shadowy, dark, negative, bad vibes in the movie, and I can tweak it, and I can make it worse. That's all I'm allowed. So basically, the dark side, the bad parts of the movie, the shadowy, malicious parts of the movie, the evil parts of the movie. I made it even worse. If I had a scene that was depressing, I would think, how can I make this even more depressing, especially stuff I've gone through? So I started peppering little details and moments and scenes from my experiences of our time. And I thought this would be the absolute wrong thing to do with the movie. It's going to make a completely black hole of a dark movie that no one can watch. It would be so lethally like negative. But I knew I had to do so. For 1 month, I just focused on the negative of the movie and made everything worse. Like people dying, I made it more gruesome. I put in all the coughs in the soundtrack, so it's a polluted city. I put in more smoke. I put in more violence, more gunshots, more explosions. And at the end of the month, I watched the movie, and it suddenly had the depth, and it had the height, and it was there after the work. And by making it more negative, the positive scenes on their own got way more positive, and it became a whole completely amazing movie. At that point, after a month, I was like, I'm there. I'm almost. So I spent 1 month focusing on the hooked up negative aspects and elements of the movie, made it worse, and it made the whole movie work and made it better. Isn't that cool?
That's so cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. Never done this before in a movie. I'm going to do it with every movie. I'm going to spend a month doing shadow work and accentuating the just the icky, creepy stuff we hide from.
Yeah, that's so. Do you think that like do you think that for the high parts of it, like the positive parts of it, do you think that those parts were just given sharper relief by the dark parts, or
Yeah. I mean, it totally goes to like Aristotle said, difference creates meaning. Like sunny days would have no meaning unless we had rainy days. Wealth would have no meaning unless we had poverty. All this happiness in the movie has no meaning unless we have complete destruction and death and evil and bad feelings. So for me, making it darker and more evil, it accentuated the light parts and made that stuff stand out more. I didn't even touch these scenes. I didn't touch the scenes, and they read completely differently. Like, holy shit, the joyous, lifting, amazing scene. I mean, it was like complete magic. I was floored by how it worked out.
that's so awesome. It's awesome that like you're still finding new ways to like change your process and to think through stuff. Like it is just like art. There's art is a living thing, right? It's something you gotta continue care for in different ways. Yeah, that's rad.
Yeah, I mean, I have a whole new way of editing movies now, and the last 7 movies I had refined, like getting a system down, and I was like, I'm getting my system down, not going to change it, and now I'm like, fuck that system, time to change it. It was working. New me.
Okay. New you, new filmmaker. Do you so I guess to kind of close this out here then of like what do you I read an interview with you on I've forgotten where I read it. Where was it? I read an interview with you somewhere recently, and you were talking about you were working on a horror movie. So are you bringing some of this energy into the horror movie?
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a way different horror. Horror is such a like loaded word. You say horror, and it's like saying punk rock. Certain things come to mind in human beings, and a lot of them are stereotypes. So yeah, this new horror movie is going to be, first of all, the slowest horror movie ever made. Be slow like molasses. Going to be shot completely in nature, and it's just going to be a complete mindfuck. Yeah, it's going to be unlike anything ever made. I'm really excited about this movie.
Hell yeah, dude. Oh man, I'm excited too. I'm excited too. Um, that's the end of my questions, John. Do you have any questions you wish I'd asked
I
you?
know. I mean, these were so thoughtful, dude.
Thank you. Was the movie really jump started some thoughts in me, so I'm glad I could ask you about them and work through it with you.
You made my day. Just stuff you said about the movie. I mean, you said like 5 really deep things in it. I've talked to friends. I've talked to myself about how this movie is different for me and certain scenes, and just like these things that you mentioned really reinforce what this movie really is. Thank you, and just how it is different. And there's like a vulnerability, and caring, and love, and sharing. I've never experienced this shit as a movie maker, like imbuing a movie stuff. So thank you for recognizing it, because I'm on this pathway. My new maybe making the vulnerable, fucked up, whole cool dude. That's who I am. But yeah.
Hell yeah. I love it. I love your old stuff. I love your new stuff. I love you, sir.
I love you, Kai, man. We gotta hang out. I love you too. Okay, this has been so good getting to know you, and I gotta tell you, sometimes you meet people, and when you find out they're teachers, you're like, this is the right person for the kids to be around. Thank you, sir. You are the right person. I mean,
Oh,
if I was a kid and I would be honored to have you as my professor and you leading the way. Like for real, it's such a good vibe and your knowledge. Just keep it up. You're changing the earth for the better. These kids are the angels.
dude,
Thank you, sir.
thank you. Damn, man. I'm gonna cry. I can't do it. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I'm feeling emotional right now. Oh man. Oh
You're
wow. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop
Yeah, and what
recording
you're
before
doing
I
the fest, I mean,
break
again,
down.
dude, you're talking to me now. You're gonna get off this thing, and you're gonna organize your fest to bring movies to the Australian people to blow their minds, so they can have a better life and be better, well-rounded.
Dude, thank you. That's too much, but thank you. I appreciate you. I applaud you too, dude. I mean, thank you for you. Seriously, like it's really an honor to talk to you, and like I really find your work very inspiring. Like I really like a movie that I watch and then I immediately go, I gotta make something. And I always feel that way when I'm engaging with your stuff. So like, it's amazing, man.
I've always wanted to watch the movies and say I want to make one instead of a Hollywood movie, which is you watch the movie, you're like, how did they do that? I can't do that.
Yes, exactly. No, exactly. You can, yeah, and I watch, I watch Numbskull Revolution, and I'm getting ideas, and I'm
Oh
like,
man, beautiful.
you're finding stuff here, and I'm like, you can do, yeah. I really love, you watch stuff, and you can go. Movies can be anything, and you don't need a ton of money, and you can just express yourself, and you can connect
Yeah.
people. Nice.
And Kai, you made my week. You made my week. Thank you so much. I'm so glad we're connected in life. Okay,
Nick,
friends for life.
if you ever find yourself in Australia, dude, please, I buy you around. Yeah.
All right, we'll talk soon, okay? Because we got the thing planned for, but just kick ass and get some rest. And sure, you're doing such a good job with this fest, man.
Dude, thank you, appreciate it. And I'll send you a photo of the screening. We'll get it rocking. I'll keep you in the loop. Yeah.
All right, be safe, man, and get some sleep. Get some sleep.
I will get some sleep.